JavaScript set attribute get attribute remove attribute. Methods. So let's try to understand what is set attribute, what is get attribute, what is remove attribute from element. Okay, so for example, there is one element like h1. H1 is closed. And for this h1, I want to set one attribute like class. Class is equal to some value, something like hello. So this attribute I am going to be setting dynamically. This class attribute I am going to be setting dynamically from this JavaScript. At the same time, I will be having the one more element like img and src. And from JavaScript, I want to set attribute src value for this img. So how we can do this? We have to go with the program. So let me save this as notes. Okay, so let us go with the new program. Set attribute .html. Okay, so let me go with the script. Before the script, I want to have the HTML h1. So, hello web development. And here what I want to do, first of all, I want to access the h1. If you want to access the h1, for h1 I am giving id is equal to head. Okay, access the head. How to access the head? Document dot get element by id. Document dot get element by id, that is going to be head, and dot set attribute. And from this set attribute method, for set attribute there are two parameters. The first one is a parameter name. Attribute having two parameters. First parameter is that attribute name. The second parameter is attribute value. So attribute name is class and attribute value is something like head. Okay, for head I want to write a style sheet and I want to create a class dot head. So background color red, color green, text align center, this will be white, text line center, font style italic. Okay, so finally what my requirement is, whenever script is getting loading, head is accessing. For this head, set attribute method is working, set attribute class is adding, and head class also adding. So head class we are creating first in the style sheet. The class is going to be attaching for the h1. So open default browser. So when I got a browser, I got added a class. So can we see that? Go to this, and dynamically we are going to be adding the class for this. So this class got added. This class, whatever the class we are having here, this class is going to be added from JavaScript. That class was added from the JavaScript. So let's work with the one more method, get attribute method. One more method, get attribute method. So how to work with the get attribute method? Get attribute .html. Okay, so same thing. So I'll be having a program copy here, program paste here. And what I want to do is, so this head class is already written. I'm already writing the head class. by loading the document. But now my method is very simple. J is equal to document.getElement by ID. And now this time I want to write a method called getAttribute. GetAttribute. What is the name of the attribute I want to receive? I want to receive the class attribute. And alert A. whatever the value we are receiving for the class, that value I'm storing in A. And finally alert A. Alert A nothing but in alert what we can see, observe. In alert I can see this head section. Finally render this. Okay, I got a class value, whatever the class value, attribute value which is available, that I got received. That is called head. This is called getAttribute method. Then one more method is the remove attribute. So concept is same. Paste here and save. Remove attribute. Remove attribute.html. So for remove attribute is already available. What I want to do is I want to remove attribute class. So remove attribute class. When I remove attribute class, automatically class head will not work. Let me check it out. Open in default browser and define that hello web development. The class is not working. Color not working. Background color not working. Text element not working. Everything is not working. So can we see this inside the body? We will be having the header and the H1. I don't have any class over there. I have only ID here, but I don't have any class. That's it. That's it. Very simple. One is a set attribute method. One is a get attribute method. One is a remove attribute method. 3 methods we are discussing in the part of JavaScript. And let me try to work out theoretically what is set attribute, what is get attribute, and what is a remove attribute also. Set attribute having two parameters. The first one is attribute name. Second parameter is value. And here what we need to give the attribute name. For remove attribute also we need to give the attribute name. For set attribute name and value. For get attribute name. For remove attribute name. That's enough. So these are the different kind of methods in JavaScript. DOM manipulations. And there is one more concept which is going to be available in the JavaScript. Set timeout. Let me work with the set timeout method. So I'm going to be creating a new program, and this is a set timeout.html script. Before the script, I want to write a button. Take a button. Timer start time. Start timer. And access the button here. Document dot get elements by tag name. That's a button. Dot set interval, set timeout. Let me go with that. Okay, first of all, we need to access the button. Button dot add event listener. Listener name is click. Function is fun. And function fun. Function fun. And set timeout. Set timeout 2 seconds. Set a timeout 2 seconds. I'm going to be setting timeout for 2 seconds. So let me check one good example for timeout. Timeout JavaScript. Set timeout to it's a function, and you can work with this. This is having function and parameter. So let's have this one. Set timeout method. Some handler is going to be working for that. Set timeout, which is going to be having something like set timeout, which is going to be having another function. So whenever we are clicking on the button, fun is calling. Whenever the fun function is going to be executing, set timeout is going to be execute. In set timeout, we have something. What it is going to be happening with one is alert and one is time. So timeout only for 3 seconds. After the 3 seconds, I just want to. So when I click on the button, set a time, start timer. So timer is going to be countdown. After 3 seconds, we got alert. After 3 seconds, we got alert. So this is basically set timeout in the real time. Most probably in the banking websites or ticket booking websites, they are going to be starting a timer. The timer is going to be moving on the top of the page, and whenever you are going to be doing some transaction, doing some booking transaction, whatever it may be, timer starts, and within some minutes, some 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, they are going to be making logout queue. So that kind of functionalities we can work with a JavaScript. That kind of functionalities we can work with the JavaScript. Set timer functionality. This is basically set timeout. And one more is a method, set time interval. Time interval. Set time interval. This is going to be repeating values. This is also having function comma timeout. Function comma time. So let's go we work with a set interval method. Set interval method. Set interval basket. Just check one example how interval is going to be working. Concept is same. So let us take the example here. Take new, paste. Set interval. Set interval dot html. So what it is going to be work? So try the button. When I click on the button, it is going to be repeating. Alert box is going to be repeating every 3 minutes. Every 3 seconds. Sorry. Even I'm closing the alert is coming. Each and every 3 seconds, alert is coming. Why? Because of timer is working. Time is working. So there is a one more important things like a date function. Date function. Today we will work with the date function also. Date function. Date function, which is going to be giving you system current date and date, time, all these things. So with the time, with the date, I will go, then I will work with the time. So date function. Date.html. So script where d is equal to new date. Document.write document.write break. Okay, so I want to print the date value. So full current date Friday, December 3, something is going to be coming. Full date is coming, but I want to see only document.write d.get date. I want to see copy it. d.get day, d.get full year, d.get hours, d.get milliseconds, d.get month, d dot get seconds. So these are the multiple things which are going to be available. So check with the multiple examples. And what I want to do is I want to take a break for each and every statement. So here I want to take a break. Here also I want to take a break. Here also I want to take a break. Every time I'm taking a break is going to be breaking the line after your statements. The first statement is full date. Second one is only date. Third one is the day. Then full year, hours, milliseconds, month, seconds. Okay, let it be. So open in the default browser. Okay, so the thing is function get date. Oh my god, something is going to happen. D dot document dot write d dot. It's a function, sorry. It's a function basically. You have to give the function. You have to give the parenthesis. Without giving parenthesis, we can't able to see the output. Yes. Now we have the output. The first one is the date, full date, and second one is get date 3 today. Next one is get day. Get day is a 5. Why? Because of Sunday starts with 0, Saturday ends with 7. Sunday starts with 0, Saturday ends with the 7 index values, and year 2021, hours 6, milliseconds 393, month 11. Why? Because of January starts with the 0, December is going to be closed with the 11. So year is month is going to be 11, and seconds 20 seconds, 22 seconds. See, if you are refreshing this, obviously something is going to be changing. Milliseconds changing and seconds changing. Milliseconds and seconds changing. Can we see this? Okay, so what I want to do, get seconds method. Get seconds method. Right. Copy this. In time interval, instead of taking alert box, why I'm working with the timer. Instead of taking the alert box, what I want to do, document dot write d dot get milliseconds. And first of all, where d is equal to new date. First of all, define the d. First of all, define the d. Then only document dot write d dot milliseconds I can able to see. Instead of showing the alert box, whatever it may. Okay, so try to understand this. This is very simple, straightforward. This is called anonymous function. Without having function name, we are writing a function, and that function having some handler, and which is going to be having some timer also. Time also 3 seconds. For each and every 3 seconds, I want to show the document dot write. So this is not required. Start timer. Click on start timer. Okay, so for every 3 seconds, something is going to be happening, but the thing is wrong. Document dot write break. I'm taking a break here. Okay, let me check this output. Start timer. Okay, so this is going to be working for each and every 1 second. something is going to be printing on the screen. Document.write is going to be printing on the screen. So this is the way of working with the timers. This is the way of working with the timeout functionalities. Just check it out with all the things.